Into my market wrap for Tuesday, December 13th, 2016. Boy, oh boy, getting close to 20,000. We were almost there. But I noticed selling, the second we would hit 19,940, 50, up to 80, they would just start slowly nudging it down. So we're not quite there yet to 20,000, but I bet you it's going to happen tomorrow when we get the results of the Fed's meeting tomorrow, which is going to be the decision on interest rates. Expected 25 basis points. If you get that, expect at least at least at minimum 100-point rally, maybe probably 300 points based on what has happened in the past. So let's see what happens. So let's get on to today's statistics. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed up at a record 19,911.21, up 114.78 points, or 0.58%. The Nasdaq Composite closed up 51.29 points to 5463.83. The S&P 500 closed up 14.76 points to 2271.72, up 0.65%. The Nasdaq was up 0.95%, by the way. The small cap Russell 2000 closed down. This is interesting, a little divergence action going on. 1.18 points, to 1371.96. Down. Everything else is up. This is kind of confusing. Down 0.09%. Ever so slight. Looking at other indices today, the S&P 100, or the NASDAQ 100, triple Qs, closed up 61.54 points to 4935.84. The S&P Midcap 400 closed up 1.93 points to 1684.44. The S&P Small Cap 600 Index closed up 0.35 points to 849 even. The NYSE Composite Index closed up 55.82 points to 11,233.10. The XAU, the Gold and Silver Index, closed up 0.98 points to 81.24. The SOX Index of Semiconductors closed up 9.88 points to 895.34. And the VIX, this is a little bit troubling. The Volatility Index closed up 0.16 points to 12.8. Doesn't sound like a lot, does it? Up 1.27%. But the thing is, that should be going down as the market goes up. It's like what they call a contrarian indicator. So there's a little bit of fear out there. Looking at market internals today. Total share volume on the New York Stock Exchange, 3.813 billion shares traded, of which 2.336 billion was advancing, 1.328 billion were declining, and 147 million were unchanged. Looking at the Nasdaq stock market, 2.066 billion total share volume traded today, of which 1.342 billion was advancing, 685 million was declining, and 38 million were unchanged. Looking at the NYSE market, or Amex, total share volume, 132 million shares traded, of which 50.8 billion was advancing, 75.1 million were declining, and 6.4 million were unchanged. That's quite interesting if you look at that. If you pay attention to those numbers, both the NYSE and the NASDAQ were ahead, pretty much 2-to-1 advancing volume versus declining. But if you look at the Amex, it had 50 million shares up and 75 million down. Interesting. Talk about sector rotation, huh? Going on to the advanced decline line or market breadth on the New York Stock Exchange. 1,809 issues were advancing, 1,232 issues were declining, and 82 issues were unchanged. On the NASDAQ, 1,606 issues were advancing, 1,275 were declining, and 140 issues were unchanged. Looking at the NYSE market, or AMEX, 173 issues were advancing. This is, again, another contrarian indicator. 151 were declining, so your market breadth, your advanced decline line, is in fact positive, but your volume's negative. Makes you think. 15 shares were unchanged, or 15 issues. That's very, very, very contrarian. That kind of stumped me, as you could probably tell in this recording. Makes you wonder. Anybody have any comments? Please let me know. It just could be that kind of day. Let's go on to the currencies and commodities section. Versus the US dollar, the euro, 1.0622, down 0.0013. Japanese yen, 115.20, up 0.17. And my favorite, the most beautiful currency in the world, the English pound, 1.2661, down 0.0016. The Australian dollar, 0.7499, up 0.0002. The Swiss franc, 1.0130, down 0.0004. Looking at the commodities complex, selected commodities on Globex. West Texas Intermediate crude, 52.83 in the Globex session, unchanged. Brent North Sea crude, 55.59, down 0.10 or 0.18%. Looking at gold, 1160.70, down $5.10 or 0.44%. Looking at silver, 16.975, down 0.212 or down 1.23%. Looking at Dow Jones futures, up 135 points to 19,850 56 or 0.67%. Looking at the S&P 500 future, up 17 points to 2267.50 or 0.76%. Looking at the 10-year bond, unchanged. Yield to maturity, 2.473%. This is going to be interesting to see because tomorrow's the Fed meeting. I'm calling 25 basis points. I'm calling a market rally. I'm also calling that if it's 50 basis points or greater for a market correction. Small correction. Doesn't have to be classified as a correction per se, but some selling. We're due. We're kind of overextended. So keep an eye out. Keep your eyes open, ears open. And I'll let you know what happens tomorrow after the Fed meeting, after the close of trade. We'll talk about it. Could be volatile. Could be exciting. Could be breaking a new millennia. We don't know. We shall see. Anyway, I want to wish everybody a good day. I will see you tomorrow. And please, if you find this channel useful, I encourage you to comment, like, share, and subscribe. I would want to see some feedback. Do you find this useful? Would you guys want me to do a live read during the day on YouTube? Let me know. And always, please, never give up on your dreams. Always persevere. If there's an obstacle, find a way around it. You'll get there. We can change this world together. Alrighty. I will talk to you guys again tomorrow, once again. And have a great evening. I will see you later on. And please support me on Patreon. Bye-bye, guys.